Hey, what's up guys? It's Hightower and xBRITxHyBriD here.
Hello.
And for this week's Indie Night, we're doing something a bit different. These are Hightower's favourite games that may... I'll extend the frame. Okay, so... Hightower's favourite games that may or may not have actually come out in 2012, but were covered in an episode of Indie Night in 2012, Indie Games of 2012. Or it says Indie Nights on the screen, but basically these are my 5 favourite games I featured in Indie Nights during this year. At 5 is Cassies Animal Sounds, because I had to put this game in here somewhere.
I'm a little bit disappointed it's not a 1, I won't lie to you, because this is my game of the year, let alone indie game of the year.
But the point of this game, of course, is that she makes animal sounds, and we're supposed to figure out what she's doing.
A must buy.
She's doing a dragon right now, apparently. This is a dragon.
She's mental. Absolutely mental.
This just gets on the list just because it's the funniest indie game around. There's seriously nothing funnier than this game because it's just hilarious watching her do all these sounds, and I don't get why it's continually so funny.
It's absolutely brilliant. Gaming genius. That's what it is.
Yeah. I should throw out quickly, I'm pretty sure all the games I feature on this are 80 points. 80 Microsoft points, if you're wondering prices.
I would think so, yeah. All indie games are 80 points, right? Or most of them, at least.
Most of them are. I think pretty much everyone I've made an episode on so far is 80 points because I'm a cheapskate.
Well, you're showing the people how to get value for their buck. I would put it that way. A positive spin on it.
When they have to buy the stupid forced currency, but...
Yeah.
Quickly, she's doing a Yeti. I know this one. This is a Yeti.
You've played this way too much, haven't you?
I have. Dude, I've pulled all-nighters playing this game. But moving on to number 4, it's Dead Pixels, an 8-bit zombie sim where it's like walking left and right, you blast zombies. It's a straightforward... It feels like an arcade game. Like,
yeah,
as in the game you'd find in an
arcade. Arcadey feel to it. It looks really good, and it's got quite a good gameplay mechanic to it, a good sort of like retro feel to it.
Yeah, there's like 3 different modes. There's like a story mode where you play as a survivor trying to escape the city, and then there's one where you play as like convicted criminals who have been sent in to blow up something. I think it's like blow up whatever's causing everyone to turn into zombies. And then there's a survival mode, because you know every game needs a zombie survival mode.
Of course. I can't imagine it has much storyline, but it definitely has a good
It's like every time you cross a street, it tells you how many more streets you need to go across, and it's like there's more. I don't know why, but I just started spamming the change weapon button there, and it just kept coming up with the fact that I only had one gun, but it would still tell me that gun.
Chain gun. So
it was like Chambers shotgun or something. There's a lot of Resident Evil references in the weapons. There's like Wesker's handgun or Redfield pistol.
Oh, that's cool.
Or of course Chambers shotgun is in Rebecca Chambers.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I never noticed the character I'm playing as there is called R. Kirkman, as in Robert Kirkman, the creator of the Walking Dead comics.
Of course, I knew that. Because
I think more of the characters you choose for this mode were all references, but I can't remember the others. I just remember this one because I love The Walking Dead, and as I've said, I absolutely love the Walking Dead game that came out this year.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't go 12 minutes without mentioning how moist The Walking Dead makes you.
No, I can't.
Anyway,
at number 3 is one of the most disturbingly funny games, Babymaker Extreme, the game that perfectly simulates childbirth.
I think this is pretty much my first day on this earth was pretty much this. I won't lie to you.
Of course, when the woman gives birth, the baby just fires out of the vagina like it was a cannon.
This was actually your first indie night, wasn't it?
It's the second one. It was the second one, but it was the first one where I had a co-commentator.
Yeah,
it's CFH Hate Fear.
Oh, shout out to CFH Hate Fear. I'm surprised I could say his username there because it's almost a tongue twister. Hey, how you doing, buddy? How's it going? Good? Cool. I hope you had a good Christmas. Oh, it was good? Oh, great. Yeah, mine was fine. Anyway,
in this game, you can use Rising Dice and you have to fire the baby as far as you possibly can. It's all the odds are just like this for a game. Like I downloaded this purely because it was called Babymaker, and I was like, I wonder what actually happens in this game. But I wasn't expecting a game where a baby gets fired out of a woman's cannon-like vagina.
Yeah, if there's any reason to buy an indie game, it would be because it's called Babymaker Extreme 2.
Yeah.
Like, there was one before, and it was so good that they made the second one.
I played the first one as well.
Really?
I freaking loved them. They were so funny.
It must have been so good.
It just makes me laugh my head off. Just like it's one of those ones that showcases the more bizarre side
of childbirth.
The indie marketplace.
Oh, I thought you meant of childbirth.
And of childbirth, of course. At number 2 is I made a game with zombies in it, which was the first game I covered on Indie Night. And it's still a great one. It's a top-down shooter that's completely insane, in which you get flooded and you have to just desperately fight everything off. And it also has one of the greatest songs ever made in a video game, in which the developer sings about the fact that he's made a video game with zombies in it.
It sort of looks like a weird like asteroids on steroids with zombies.
Well, that's the thing. It does shake it up. There's bits where you're like a Geometry Wars like bit where you're in space and you're shooting diamond shapes, and there's a bit where you're in space shooting green puffy clouds. It's a really odd game. It's not just zombies, and like this is the ending bit where it's just like floods you with about 100 different enemies, like green blobs. Zombies, of course, those weird red faces, and occasionally you'll see a snake, as in like the old.
Yeah, I thought I saw some snakes. I was wondering what that was all about. Is that a type of zombie or?
It'll kill you if you hit the front of it.
Ah, right. That's cool though.
But the point of this is basically just to score as much as possible. You can play, if you've got enough people around your house, you can actually play 4-player local co-op, which makes it a lot more fun. I've played it, well, not 4 players, I don't have that many friends in real life, of course, but I have played this with a few people, and it is really funny, especially if you're partially drunk.
Yeah, I can imagine it's one of those, it's a good drunk game, although, of course, if you're over the age of consumption, we don't want any, like, 12-year-olds getting absolutely
We don't encourage
hammered.
drinking excessively like I do on a regular basis. But at number 1 is Applejack 2, which is easily one of my favourite games because I just love how wonderfully colourful it is.
Yeah, it looks like a really high-quality indie game. Like, all of these games are good.
It is. It's one of those ones that you'd expect to see in the Xbox Live Arcade, because it's just got everything's just great about it. It's got lovely, comforting music in a kind of Minecraft way. It looks really nice. The art style is really fun. I think it's set in England. It's set in like the countrysides, and it's got an interesting combat system. Is that you have to jump on top of an enemy and then throw them at another enemy.
Yeah, it's really cool. And obviously, if it's in Britain, it's obviously possibly one of the best games ever. If it's set in Britain.
Yes, of course. But of course, you play as Applejack, which is a man with an apple for a head.
Obviously, because that's totally normal.
And the god, yes. And the objectives and levels can actually differ. Sometimes it's just get to the end of the level, or sometimes it's take out all the enemies in a level. Or there's another level I was doing earlier where I had to get to the end, but to get past certain points there's like a pig that just follows you.
That's a bit weird.
And you have to guide it along, and then you have to jump on its head so it can, and then use it to walk you across a hazardous bit.
Oh, right. That's cool.
But like, it's a wonderfully colourful game, but it never feels like too stressful or challenging. But it always kind of has a bit of a challenge, and you have to work out, which is what's great about this.
Yeah, it does look like a pretty good, like, sort of puzzle platformer style game.
Yeah,
that won't get.
It's got all the
easily.
classic styles like collecting coins, enemies, wall jumping and stuff.
Yeah,
and there's me getting killed.
Oh.
Not great, but. As I said, those are my favourite 5 indie games that I covered in 2012. I'm pretty sure they were all 80 Microsoft points. And head to achievementhunter.com for more videos. And also, Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone.